The following segment is sponsored by Smith's Food and Drug. My mouth is salivating at this next recipe. Chef Jeff Jackson is going to show us how to cook a delicious barbecue beef brisket. Let's take a look.
Hello everybody, I'm Chef Jeff from Smith's. Today's recipe, I'm going to be making brisket. So at my store, my home store, I cook brisket in a smoker that takes like 9.5, 10 hours to do. I'm going to show you how to make brisket in your oven that only takes 4.5 hours. You don't have to be scared of this piece of meat, and if you do get it, you're going to love it. It's so tender and juicy and lovely. Let's get right to it. So if you go to your meat market at your local Smith's, you can find what's called a brisket flat. Now a brisket is a whole brisket is going to be about this long. This is only the flat part. The point is the other part. They've cut that off. So this is just the flat. So what I want to do is just trim away any excess fat. It doesn't look too bad actually. If there's any thick parts of fat, just go ahead and trim those off, but this doesn't look too bad. So there's a fat side and then the bottom side that doesn't have any fat. But what I want to do is I want to season it really quickly with a rub. I like to put mustard on. The reason I put that on there is because I like to, it helps the seasoning stick. Speaking of seasoning, let's look at it. We've got brown sugar, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, smoked paprika, cumin, and salt, pepper. You can do whatever seasoning rub you have or like, but this is just the one I do, and it's a good recipe for it. So I'm going to go ahead and just mix that up. And then I'm going to just go ahead and season this side of it really quickly here. And then I'm going to flip it around to the other side. So this side doesn't have as much fat on it. You see on here how the meat there's a grain to it? That's important for later. I'll talk about that when I slice it. Go ahead and put some mustard on there. Season. This is going to be one of the easiest things you ever make, by the way. So easy. Have your oven preheating to 300 degrees. Okay, into a roasting pan, I'm going to put some onions. And then I'm going to put some beef broth in there. And then some barbecue sauce. Just whatever favorite barbecue sauce that you have. It doesn't matter what kind. Okay, and once you do that, this is a slow cooking meat. This is not a meat that happens fast. Remember I said how in the smoker it takes like 9 or 10 hours? This needs 5 hours. Well, not 5. Let's say 4.5 hours in your oven. Cover with foil. Go in the oven. 4 hours. After 4 hours, take the foil off, and then half hour without foil. Let's get this one out of the oven. And it looks fantastic. See, it's shrunk quite a bit, but there's all that delicious sauce. It's looking so good. Now all there's left to do is to slice it. So remember, before you slice this, you want to rest it for probably about 20 minutes. It had already rested in my fridge. And then what I'm going to do is slice it. Remember I talked about the grain before? It was going like this. I want to cut against it. So if it's going this way, I cut this way. So go ahead and slice into this. And just that meat just is so good and tender and juicy. Look at that. Looks fantastic, right? Either way, you can find this at your local Smith's. Super easy to make. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for shopping. And we will see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.